both girls were dropped off in a lot off of County Road West 300 North outside of Delphi. It would have taken mere moments for them to walk up the narrow gravel path, up to what is described now as the trail intersection. The trail intersection is an area where the trail system intersects with several other smaller trails. Nearby, the suspect may have sat on this bench as the girls walked up and turned southeast towards the Monon High Bridge. As the girls walk on what's called the 501 trail towards the bridge, the suspect likely tailed them from behind. The trail has since been paved and cleared and looks vastly different today. The girls approached the northwest side of the bridge walking southeast and walked out. This was believed to be Abby's first time on the bridge. There were 12 photos that were uploaded to Libby's Snapchat profile that day. The only two made public are those taken between 2:05 and 2:07 p.m. The first, facing southeast, was taken by Libby 236 feet out from the northwest side of the bridge. The second was taken of Abby, facing northwest from the third platform, 333 feet from the northwest side of the bridge. They continue on southeast, out past the middle of the bridge length.
At some point, the girls became aware of the man at the northwest end of the bridge. His speed more than likely alarmed them, causing them to question how they would get back. They likely decided to cross to the south side, even though that was not their original plan. As they neared the southeast side, the man continued to move towards them, closer and closer. The girls likely didn't expect him to cross the entire way. At the end of the southeast side of the bridge, Libby began to film the individual. They more than likely knew he was headed for them at this point. The entire video released by police is only an excerpt of a longer video and represents the best image of the suspect. If we direct our memory back to Lee Kerr's statements, it is expressed that law enforcement did not want the public to focus their attention on certain statements the individual made that may imply that he was law enforcement. It is suggested that the suspect told the girls that it was unsafe to cross back over the bridge, and they would have to go down the hill in order to exit the area. He may have brandished a gun and/or badge at some point during the encounter. The girls scaled down the hill with the suspect and onto the private drive below. They were informed that they were under arrest for trespassing. At some point between this moment and when they reached the waters of Deer Creek, the girls likely knew that they were in grave danger. Lee Kerr states that there are two distinct recordings, one at the top of the hill and one at the bottom of the hill. We believe that Liberty did not take two separate recordings of the encounter, but that law enforcement separated the two important parts of the one recording. From under the bridge, the girls were either directed to or attempted to escape toward the creek and back to the north end of the bridge. While the waters look shallow, they are much deeper than one would expect. Maybe even this was true to the killer himself. At some point, Abby was struck over the head. We're not sure of the exact point of this assault, but it's likely that it led to a chaotic scene that took place in the water. There is an area on the north side of the creek where the Mears and Logan property meet, where there is a dip in the land and a ravine. It is quite easy to walk up to the area of the crime scene via this path. There are rumors that one of the girls was dragged up the bank. This is likely the time in which the murders took place. Little is known about the events of this time period, but it is believed that the girls were killed quickly. The suspect spent time arranging the crime scene and the victims in a manner that is described as religious and depicting a sexual tableau. Little else is known. Derek has now arrived at the Mears lot to pick the girls up. His calls go unanswered, and the events of the search on February 13th begin here.
It is thought that the suspect took time to escape the area and might have even came into close contact with others on the trails, including Derek German himself. In our opinion, not only is this plausible, but it is likely that he did escape via the wooded areas near the trails. No witness has ever been publicly put forth to have seen the suspect or his vehicle leave the area that day.
It seems as if every press conference that has been held pertaining to this case, law enforcement has attempted to elicit a response from either a particular type of person or a specific person who knows the perpetrator. If you look back through the years, all of the public releases have varying tones to them, some more confident than others, but everyone has had police baiting someone to come forward. To me, this shows that even if police do not know the exact person who committed the crime, they know either the type of person that he is, whether that be the socioeconomic stance or his general personality. This may have to do with things done or left at the crime scene, or any number of things known to the police that they will not tell the public at this point. The extremely emotional April 2019 presser presented by Doug Carter was said to be written by the agencies involved in the investigation. This script went through the advisory of several officials, some perhaps more competent than others. We believe that it's safe to say that this script saw the hands of an FBI profiler on at least one occasion. Oftentimes, appealing to the emotional side of a suspect only excites the perpetrator more, knowing that they've done serious damage to the emotions and lives of others. At the very least, it does nothing to them, seeing as many serial killers are only concerned with their own personal gain and are believed to lack in even rudimentary senses like empathy, morals, integrity, or even compassion. The continued resurgence of the idea of religion is another topic. At this point, it has been almost 5 years since the crime. The continuous and heavy focus on the suspect's spiritual leaning and appealing to the perpetrator's conscience speaks volumes. In my opinion, this may have bearing with the suspect's personal beliefs, job, or the belief of those around him. It's been stated by both former Carroll County prosecutor Robert Ives and the leaker that there were elements of the crime scene that were non-secular. These are things that are heralded publicly as being directly related to the crime. Non-secular obviously means religious, although law enforcement have never pointed towards any specific religion. Once again, we wonder what the relevance of appealing to the suspect's conscience can yield for them given the evidence. And yet, law enforcement have most of the information in this case, and we do not. One aspect we do notice is the silence by law enforcement officials on anything concerning the case. Also notable is the overall message of one piece away, when describing how close the authorities are to capturing this killer. All of these things indicate that law enforcement do in fact have a prime suspect for which they are mounting evidence against, and that the appeals to religion might be targeted to his spouse or members of his family rather than to the killer himself.
There are several points of interest within the information that we have just discussed that not only reveal the intentions of the suspect, but also the various traits that indicate the type of person that he is. If we keep in mind the items that the suspect is believed to have brought, then his intentions were always ultimately murder. However, based on statements law enforcement have made, it is believed that this was his first kill. Still, the suspect is exhibiting symptoms of real serial killer-like behavior. Robert Ives changing the wording between signatures and characteristics further indicates this idea. In the grand scheme of things, we believe that we are dealing with a man with a secret, a dark one that boiled over on February 13, 2017. This is the very point where his dark passenger took the wheel of his life. He most certainly has changed as a man, as a husband, and as a father. His care and attention has changed to that one day when the man he was born to be ceased and he became a monster, unrepentant, unfixable, eternally altered by stealing the lives of those two girls. We are dealing with a person that knows right from wrong, a classically calm and collect individual, and one that may have reasoned away why this happened to a mistake or a one-off that will never happen again. Please rest assured, evil like this cannot go away on its own. It will build within him until he finally does the right thing, or worse, needs to kill again. I have the feeling that he likely graces our groups with his presence and likely watches these videos of YouTubers following the case. And if I can be so bold, it's my hope to address you, the killer. You took the lives of two teen girls, and I assure you, it will happen again. No matter your half-hearted reasonings or your explanations that you've fed your wife about that day. Your alibi won't protect you forever. It won't go away if you stay focused. Romans 12:19 says, "Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, 'It is mine to avenge, and I will repay,' says the Lord. For the lifeblood of those girls, there shall be an accounting of you. And to those who protect you in your secret, I pray that they finally do the right thing. For every tear that has fallen for them, judgment will surely follow you. Turn yourself in.